What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers Fireplaces. Today we have a good one for you. This video is long overdue. It's been months in the making. I've been telling you guys it's coming. Today we are reviewing our top 5 Kamado series charcoal grills. The reason it's taking so long is to get all 5 of these guys assembled and in the same room. It's essentially like trying to assemble the Avengers. Not gonna happen too often, but when it does, magic happens. This is fun having these guys together. So we're gonna break them down, tell you the differences between them all, and we'll explain why they are in our top 5. So let's dive in. So like I said, we're breaking down our top 5 favorite Kamado series style cookers. Before we get into it though, let's take care of a little business. As always, you guys gotta subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up. It helps us out, supports us to be able to continue to do videos like this. Don't forget too, if you're in the Denver metro area, these products are here in our showroom in person. So if you're in Colorado, come down to our store, check these products out for yourself. If you're not, check them out on our website. Everything's on our website. We'll include links below for that. Everything that we use in this video will also include useful links down in the description. So make sure you check that out. And lastly, we are equipment experts, but we're not necessarily culinary experts. If you want good expert advice on how to barbecue and cook with these things, we're gonna include a link for a masterclass subscription. I highly recommend it. I personally use it all the time to help me with this equipment. It is a paid service that they do for us, so it does help us out when you check those guys out. Make sure to check into masterclass. So we're not gonna be breaking down crazy in-depth reviews with all 5 of these. And the reason is one, it would be like a 2-hour video. It would literally turn into an Avengers movie. So we're not gonna do that. But I've reviewed each one of these individually crazy in-depth. If you wanna see the in-depth reviews, you can check those out. But what's cool is these are my top 5. And to me, this is just my opinion. Nothing else is even close. These 5 are the creme de la creme, the belle of the ball. These are the best of the best. They're Avengers, they're superheroes. And so but what's cool about all 5 of these is all 5 of these have something very unique from the other one. So there's usually a feature or 2 with each Kamado here that really stands out different from each model. So that's what we're really gonna focus on, is what's unique to each one. But I'm telling you straight away, without even thinking about it for a second, I would take any of these home and put them on my deck. I would cook with any of these, no questions asked. These are the 5 best. Okay, enough of all that. Let's get into it. So the Primo, we're gonna call this one, we're gonna stick with our Avengers theme here. We're gonna call this one Thor. Now, the reason we're gonna call him Thor is he's obviously powerful, but he's a little bit different shaped. Just a little more rough around the edges. And the Primo is the only Kamado style that's gonna be oval shaped. They have a patent on the oval design, so they're the only ones that can do oval. So let's start with this guy. Again, we have a full in-depth review on the Primo already, so we're not gonna get into it, but this is the Primo series. This is the smallest in their series. This is not the right cart for it. Like I said, I was just lucky to get all 5 of these together, so I had to steal a cart from another model just to set this in here because I didn't have a cart for it. So the Primo is made in the US, so it's a US made product, but really Primo's claim to fame is the oval shape. So Primo's the only Kamado out there that's oval. And again, this is the smallest in the series. The question is what is the benefit of oval? Well, oval really has 2 benefits with cooking. For example, let's say you're doing a long, narrow brisket or ribs, you're getting more of a rectangular shape. So a brisket's gonna fit on here more easy. And then with this sort of rectangle style, it's easier to do indirect cooking. So that means we can put a divider in here, just put our charcoal on one side, and then we have more real estate for indirect cooking. So just the oval shape allows us to fit more food, and it gives us more versatility overall. That being said, there is one of the downsides with Primo is they have the market cornered when it comes to oval style, and they've sort of, in my opinion, have just sort of rested on that a little too long. I've been going to trade shows for about 12 years, and as I'm doing these trade shows, I have a funny story for you guys. First couple years, I was kind of new to the Kamado product, and I'd go in their booth, and I'm like, well, tell me what's different about Primo. Why should someone buy a Primo? Why would my customers want a Primo? They're like, well, ours is oval. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They explained all the benefits of oval. A couple years later, well, why should I do, what do you got new? Well, it's oval. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I didn't know you could patent a shape, but if you're gonna patent a shape, they did, and it's pretty cool. But what was really funny is they have a Jack Daniel's series. So I went to the show again. I'm like, you know, try to talk me in. Why should I do Primo? And they're like, well, we have an exclusive partnership with Jack Daniel's this year. And I was like, whoa, this is going to be big time. This is going to be awesome. I'm thinking, my wheels are turning. I'm thinking, okay, they're probably getting some whiskey barrels that are exclusive from Jack Daniel's. They're going to use that in their charcoal to get some nice wood chunks that are exclusive Jack Daniel's taste. People are gonna go crazy over that. No. They said, see that grill over there? They're Primo XL. There's one model, I'll show you a picture, but it says Jack Daniel's right here. And they're like, we're the only ones that can do that. And I'm like, do what? It says Jack Daniel's on it. Oh, that's awesome. What's different about it? It says Jack Daniel's. And I just kind of rolled my eyes a little bit because there's nothing different about the grill. It just says Jack Daniel's on it. It's cool, but they're going to charge you more and print the name Jack Daniel's. In my opinion, kind of stupid. Now, I'm downplaying this. I'm sort of talking bad about them, but Primo is an excellent, excellent product. Like I said, it's made in the United States, and they're the only ones that do that oval shape. But I feel like they could get a little more innovative with their accessories and things like that, but still all around great product. If you want an oval smoker, Primo is the only way to go. So if that's what you want, check out Primo. So let's move on to Blaze. This is the Blaze Kamado series. Now we're gonna call Blaze, sticking with our superhero theme. This guy's like Iron Man. He's all metal, completely indestructible, and just bulletproof. So what's the advantage with the Blaze product? Obviously, you can see just by looking at it, it's gonna be a cast aluminum style. So it's sort of away from that traditional ceramic style Kamado. So this accomplishes several things. One, of course, the biggest thing, in my opinion, is gonna be aesthetics. So it's gonna give you just more of a finished, polished look. Somewhere where I really like this product is if you're integrating a Kamado in an outdoor kitchen and you're gonna have a bunch of stainless steel already, you know, like a big gas grill, storage drawers, things like that, where you have a lot of stainless. This flows really, really well in an outdoor kitchen aesthetically. It just sort of matches everything. Because sometimes these ceramic ones can kind of stick out a little bit in an outdoor kitchen. This is gonna match everything very nicely. And then of course, being cast aluminum, this thing's never gonna rust and it's completely bulletproof. You know, if you drop it, there's nothing you can do to damage this thing. So that's pretty cool. And then also the weight of it, you can see the other thing is that there's no need for any sort of gasket material. It sort of has an overlapping lip that's just gonna lock. And of course, that's never gonna wear out or loosen over time. So just a really, really well, solidly built machine. Couple really cool accessories from Blaze too, is like their Pro gas grills. I mean, look at this cooking grate. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You're never gonna need something that thick, but they give it to you. And it's heavy duty. It's a little, it's pretty cool actually, but definitely an over-engineered bulletproof product. But that's really it, you know. A couple cool features with Blaze. Personally, I think aesthetically, like I said, I'm into it. I think it would look great in an outdoor kitchen setup. One downside though, Blaze is really a whole family of product. Some of these other brands, all they make is Kamados, so you get a ton of flexibility. The Blaze only comes in the one size. So it's our most popular selling size. It's very similar, you can see here, to the Big Green Egg next to it. But I do wish this came in more sizes, but it's best-selling size, but you sort of have to like a medium size Kamado. Okay, let's move over to the Big Green Egg, the OG of Kamado smokers, the original. I like to call this guy Captain America because he's the first Avenger. Get it? Do you see what I did there? See that reference? So this is a pretty bulletproof. Big Green Egg's been around forever. They're the ones that originally started ceramic style cooking. One of the biggest advantages with Big Green Egg is going to be the size, the family of Kamados. So this is the large size, which is one of their best sellers, but Big Green Eggs makes 7 different size Kamados. Now, this is handy because some of the other brands only make 1, 2, 3. The max I've seen is 4. These guys make 7 sizes. Now, this is handy because, for example, I've been cooking at my house for a while on a Kamado Joe. They're classic, which is an 18-inch round, and a brisket barely fits on there. I could make it work, but it's a little tight. But as we'll get into, when we get into the Big Joe on the Kamado, it's almost too big. It's just enormous. And there's no way my wife was gonna let me keep a Big Joe on my deck for a long period of time. So I have the Kamado, or the Classic, I should say. That's where Big Green Egg is handy. Is like, if you want something big enough to do a brisket, but you don't want something over the top, I promise you there's a size to fit your needs with Big Green Egg. They make so many different sizes, and they make some really cool little cute mini guys if you want something to go. This is their large size, and they have improved their handle system. So their hinge system, it is pretty lightweight. It does sort of grab, so it's not a super heavy lid. And then as a new improvement, they've come up with a new top that's not gonna move. You know, when you lift this up, this is gonna stay in place. The old one used to flop around a little bit, then you'd have to reset it. And of course, Big Green Egg being around the longest, their customer support is really unique in the sense that this is the only one out of the 5 where it can't be sold online. So Big Green Egg relies very, very heavily on a local dealer network. And any dealer can warranty or service your Big Green Egg. Now this is really cool because they're sort of relying on the spider web of local dealers. So I think you're gonna get the most personal care and most personal customer support with Big Green Egg because they're so heavily reliant, and they hold their dealers to such a high standard of customer service, and they're very picky about who they would sell Big Green Egg to. So quality control is very good, very, very high, and all the options we have in size, and of course being around the longest, I would say Big Green Egg probably offers the most amount of accessories to match this grill. So there's a ton you can do with this guy. So that's a Big Green Egg. All right, let's move on to this guy. This is the Everdure 4K. Now, for a superhero, I'd probably say this is like Vision. Super futuristic, just a lot of technology built into this guy. If I was gonna use a car reference, I would call this one like a Tesla. It's such a departure from the rest of the Kamado market, and we'll talk about that a little bit. One, aesthetically, you can see it's a lot different. A lot of good curb appeal. So if you're putting this in a high traffic area, you need to talk the wife into putting another barbecue on your patio. This one's pretty cool. Comes in a bunch of different colors. This is the mint color. I personally kind of like it because it looks really modern and contemporary, but it also sort of has that retro, like refrigerator type feel, if that makes sense. But I think it's pretty sweet. Now, you can get all the performance info in my in-depth review if you want to check that out down below, the individual review. But essentially what they've done is, on top of all the cosmetics, they've incorporated a ton of technology into this guy. So it does use power. So when we have power, we have an automatic igniter, so it does have an electric igniter in there. We have a control board here that we can easily check our temps, our timer. It has 4 built-in probes. And then what's really cool, it has a Bluetooth app. So you can connect this to Bluetooth to your smartphone so you can be monitoring the temps on all of your probes, and has full integrated recipes, everything like that. So if you're into technology, you're into high curb appeal, the Everdure is pretty sweet. I had one complaint. They're a lot like Blaze in the sense that they're a family of products and they don't just do Kamados. So they are kind of limited as far as size. So this is the only size they offer. So I do wish this came in a couple other sizes, but outside of that, this is definitely one of my favorites. All right, let's move on to the Kamado Joe. You've probably heard of Kamado Joe lately unless you've been living under a rock. And the reason we say that is Kamado Joe, he's Hulk. That's what we're gonna call him, is he's Hulk. The reason is he's come in, he's like a bulldozer. This guy has completely disrupted the Kamado market. They've gained so much momentum, they've done such a good job with their marketing, and on top of that, they have a really cool product to back it up. So we're not gonna touch on a million things, because like I said, you can watch our in-depth review, but this is the Big Joe 3. So the Classic 3 and the Big Joe 3 have a lot of unique features. So it's kind of like a spring-loaded hinge here. And you can see this is a heavy top. I can just lift it with my finger. So that's one of the huge selling points with Kamado Joe that's really awesome. And then their chimney top is weatherproof and rainproof, so rain can't get in here. And then kind of like the Big Green Egg one, it's gonna stay exactly where you want it to. So when you open this up, this isn't gonna flap open. On the 3 Series, they also have a slow roller. We'll show you a video of that, but it's essentially a piece of technology in here. So this one, I would say, does one of the best jobs with smoking when you use that slow roller in here. It creates a ton of extra smoke. Then what else is really cool with Kamado Joe, it's like a good bad sort of thing, but it comes loaded. Like it comes with the heat deflectors, it comes with your half moon cooking racks, comes with the side shelves, comes with the cart, comes with the slow roller, comes with the tools. It's fully loaded. Now, that's awesome because you get a ton of stuff, but it also makes it expensive. And then on top of it, let's say you don't want all that stuff, well, that's the way you get it. So it's definitely a premium high-end product, and that's what's pretty unique about Kamado Joe. Like I said, they've been gaining a ton of momentum. I would say it's our most popular Kamado right now. We're probably selling the most amount of Kamado Joes, more than anything else. So if that tells you anything. So like I said earlier, if I was gonna have a complaint, it's that we only have 2 sizes. We basically have the Classic and the Big Joe. There is a Mini, or the Joe Junior, I should say. So really 3, but technically in something you're gonna wanna put on your patio, really just the two sizes. So I wish they almost had like an in-between size. So that would be my only complaint with Kamado Joe. So there's the 5. Hopefully I didn't get too wordy. Hopefully I didn't make it too confusing for you. I skipped over a ton of features in every one of these. And like I said, it would just be a 2-hour video if I went in depth. You can watch each in-depth review if you want to learn more about each particular one. So, decision time. Which one do you buy? Well, we can't really answer that question because like I said, each one has such a unique setting, and let's review. I would probably buy the Primo if buying products made in the US is really important to me, or if you want that offset style cooking where you can have indirect cooking, or if you want that oval shape, I would buy Primo. Personally, I would buy the Blaze if you want something that's completely indestructible, or if you want it to match your outdoor kitchen and you're gonna build it into your island, check out Blaze. Big Green Egg, I would buy if you just are into the OG principle. It's the original. If you're into good customer service, or if you have a very unique size that you're looking for, take a look at Big Green Egg. Everdure, the 4K. I would buy this guy if you're super into technology, if you're really into curb appeal, you need to convince the wife why you need another barbecue, or if you just want something pretty on the deck, take a look at Everdure. And the Big Joe, or the Kamado Joe series, again, just a really, really well-designed product. I'd probably get the Kamado Joe if I smoke a lot. because I really think that's its niche, is when you're using that slow roller. If you're doing a lot of slow cooks, I would take a look at the Kamado Joe. Like I said, if you're in the Denver metro area, come to our store, come check these out in person. I had a ton of fun doing this video. It's really cool to see all 5 of these together. We're gonna keep them out here in the showroom so that way you can decide at home what you want. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Call or text our staff if you guys have wanted any questions answered. See what we have in stock. All these Kamados are super hot right now, no pun intended. So our stock is pretty limited. But stay tuned for more videos and make sure you guys subscribe.